everybody, this is AJ from ToPo bringing you Kamen Rider Revice episode 7. Yes, I know I skipped 6. There really wasn't much to say about 6 anyways, besides the fact that, Daiji was evil, which I freaking called, because there was no way it was going to be the other guy. There was no way. But whatever, let's get right into 7. Episode basically starts out with Vice not being able to get the Jackal Vice stamp because he calls it lame as fuck, and George really takes that seriously, which is hilarious. Actually, there is that one thing I wanted to say from 6, and that is, what's the deal with George? Because it seems like he has a plan of some sort, but I'm afraid if it's going to be too fucking chess mastery for my taste. And I just got finished watching Build again. I'm not in the mood to see Evil 2, if you know what I mean. But we'll see what happens from there. But the main crux of this episode is mainly, I'm going to try and remember his name, but I really can't. It's Hiromi. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's about Hiromi basically trying to find out who the guy is behind both Evil and the Vice stamped theft. And it's kind of cool because you get to get a lot more of who he is in his debut episode. And granted, we've known him for a while already, but it's cool to see how they're playing it up, where he's not exactly friends with Iki, but he's more out for like Daiji, which is interesting because it makes sense. They've been working together for a while and they have trained and blah 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 together. So it's kind of interesting to see their dynamic and see where that can go. Plus, yes, for the record, Demons has been confirmed to be the actual secondary rider, not Evil, so that's something. All the while, Daiji is basically trying to, and I'm not going to say figure out, but he's basically trying to find out why he's been acting so strange. And in this episode, they reveal it to him. It's because he's possessed by the demon Kagero. And I kind of like the idea that he is possessed, but at the same time, I kind of don't. I felt like the idea that he was just always a bad kid and he just decided to go full on bad would be more entertaining, but maybe that's just me. I kind of wish they went that direction, but whatever. Like in this episode, Iki is very much a side character to these two. Like we have the Monster of the Week plot, but again, those usually don't matter in this type of show. It's more about Daiji and Himuro. It's Hiromi, right? Fuck's sake, I keep messing up his name. I'm pissing myself off with that. But yes, Hiromi. It's basically between them two, and Hiromi getting closer and closer to finding out the identity of Evil. And it's interesting because it's not often we get this type of show where the writers basically debut, well, not one after the other, but you know what I mean, this close together. And not in a writer war type setting, but in just more of a, they're just so close to each other. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But basically, I like the idea that they're just being debuted that way. Like, hey, they're just being made. They're not going to wait. Well, it's kind of realistic in that sense, where it's like, you have a new weapon. You've already tested it. You know it's ready. Why wait? So that's interesting to see. Now onto the demon suit itself. Demon's suit and his belt are very interesting. I do like the idea behind it. I'm kind of not into the idea of the asymmetrical, like, web design, but maybe it'll grow on me. I do like the idea of the eyes, like the actual spider eyes on his helmet and the fact that they light up. Don't get used to those. Those aren't going to be around for very long, knowing Toei. But I do like the idea behind it. And the driver itself is very interesting, though from what I heard, that's going to be a premium Bandai exclusive, which, ouch. And in the episode, we actually see that Demons and Evil are actually on par with each other. Neither of them is stronger than the other, which is kind of interesting to see, because usually when a show like this does it, the new rider would be the powerful one. He would be the stronger one, and he would just mop the floor with the older riders. But no, they're on par, which I do kind of like, because I feel like Evil is too new to job out too much, and it's cool to see that Demons is just being put into the fold here. So it's interesting, and I'm interested to see where that goes. Other than that, the only real other thing to mention is they're still pushing they're still pushing a little bit of that weird semi-obsession that Julio has with Iki's sister Sakura in her karate class, which, where did that come from? Like, seriously, like, where did that come from? Like, they teased it in episode 6, but I thought it was just gonna be like a Dead Man's plot. Like, no, it seems to be a thing. Sure. But yeah, other than that, that's really all the episode had to offer. It's kind of strange because most of the episode was about Daiji being evil and, Hiromi. I'm going to keep calling him Himuro. I don't know why. But Hiromi being demons or finding out who evil is. It was interesting, but it felt like it went by a little too fast. Like, the pacing of this episode was kind of strange. It felt like you could have put episode 6 and 7 together and you probably would have had a more coherent story. But we'll see where that goes next week. And yeah, like I said before, Demons is officially the secondary writer, which is interesting to see. And yes, the vice stamp of this episode is Xade. It's alright. It's not great. I kind of find the fact that the CG, like, they CG'd all of the skateboard scenes, which is pretty fucking lame. Like, that is just lame. And yeah, that was pretty much it. But yeah, that's all for episode 7 of Kamen Rider Revice. What did you think about it? Did you guys like it? Did you hate it? Did you just think it was okay? Well, tell me down in the comment section below, and why not check out a couple other videos on the channel, because they're all fantastic. I've been AJ from ToPo, and I'll see you next time from Kamen Rider Revice.